Hi, it's me, Felice Renee, and I'm the host of the Peace and Living Today show. And I'm also the author of Stained Glass Smile, You Can Be Healed. And I wanted to talk to you today about a touchy topic that this is, they say October is Domestic Violence Month, but I say that domestic violence is all year round. And I understand we honor those that who are going through domestic violence. I am Felice Renee. For those who don't know me, I show individuals who are experiencing trauma, depression, loneliness, heartbreak in their marriages, how to love themselves, forgive themselves, their accusers and abusers, so they can finally have peace and sleep at night. I am a survivor of domestic violence, and I wanted to share some tips with you tonight about how help. I am living with an abuser. And I want to talk to you not about the severe abuser that hits you and things like that, but I wanted to talk to you about someone that is in the situations because I've been reading the news and I've been hearing, hey, Sean, I've been hearing about more women and men also that are going through domestic violence or suffering abuse because they are quarantined with their abuser. And it is very difficult, especially during the holidays when that person doesn't go to work, when that person is there with you all the time. And I want to give you the definition of domestic violence. I put it in my book so I don't have to go look it up. And I want to share this with you because a lot of people do not know what domestic violence is. Domestic violence is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, or any other abusive behavior as a part of a systematic pattern of power and control penetrated perpetrated by one intimate partner against the other. It includes physical violence, sexual violence, psychological violence, and emotional abuse. Now, a lot of times people don't understand that, okay, somebody yelled at me, they screamed at me, they cursed me out. That's maybe abuse, but the definition is a pattern. A lot of us are living with, I won't say me, but a lot of people are living with someone that is constantly verbal abusing them. When you verbally abuse someone, you tear them down. But I want to give you 3 tips because next week I'm going to go into a webinar and I'm going to invite you to come. So if you can come or you know someone that's going through verbal abuse, sexual abuse, psychological abuse, you know how they say, I'm going to hit you and they don't hit you, or they threaten you, or they take money out your bank account, or they degrade you. That is domestic violence. So I want to bring some light to that. I'm not going to stay on long because I said later next week, probably Tuesday, I'll put the flyer out so we can go a little bit deeper in it. I think it needs to be talked about because a lot of people are facing that. And it's not easy to live with someone like that. And a lot of people said, just leave. Well, if that person has children in school, they just can't leave. If that's the sole income that's paying the mortgage or the rent or car notes, you just can't leave. And even if you call the police will probably write a note and tell you have to go down to the police department and fill out a protective order. And then that still does not protect you. So what I'm talking to those individuals who are going through verbal abuse, psychological abuse. 3 steps. If you want to share this video with someone, please hashtag I'm a survivor. If you're a survivor, please hashtag I need help in my messenger, and we can get you some help. So send that to me in a private, not in the comments here. But I want to let you know there is help. There is help for you because a lot of people don't know where to get help during the COVID because the calls are coming in over and over again. So let's get to it. First, number one, and as I'm looking down, I'm trying to answer some text. So number one, don't get into an argument. Do not get into the argument with that person. They could be seriously wrong. Let them be right. We're talking about keeping peace. We're talking about keeping yourself safe. And yes, I have 2 different cameras because I'm streaming from YouTube and I'm streaming from Facebook because I thought it was that serious. So Try not to get into an argument. I know I failed that several times because I've been a person and always stand on my own and I'm right. But don't get into the argument with the person that's an abuser. That is very hard to sit there and be degraded. Try to go to another room. Don't get into an argument with them. If they're accusing you of sleeping around with someone, try your best in the most kindest way to tell them I'm not. Because escalating a situation will take it to the place where you might end up in the hospital or someone else may be hurt. So I want to let you know today, please don't escalate the situation, because you have to live with a person that's an abuser. I'm going to give you some tips because I lived that way for almost over, I think, 12 years, 2 different marriages, picking the same person. We'll go into that in another webinar or another live. Do not escalate the situation. Don't be sarcastic. Try your best. And if you're Christian like myself, pray and ask God, Lord, help me go to another place. Even if you have to go to the bathroom, that's the next one. Go to another room. If you have to go to another room to do so, please do so. Like I said, I am trying to actually help others, texting and things, but go to another room. If you have to go to the bathroom, if you have to go to the kitchen, be the peacemaker and go. If you have to go to for a walk, say, you know what, I need to just go for a walk. You just have to walk down to the corner where they can see you. And I know it sounds crazy, and you shouldn't have to live like that. But if you're living like that right now, these are the measures that you could use when living with an abuser. You don't want them to get escalated because they think you're messing around with someone. And I'm not just talking about women. I'm talking about men. There are so many men that are suffering from domestic violence right now. It does not get reported. We see things like Tyler Perry, where they throw the grits on the person, or they slap them, or they come after them with a butcher knife. That's not cool. That's domestic violence. Because if it's a pattern over and over again, just one time, that's abuse. And no, you shouldn't have to go through it, but those are some of the tips I want to give you. Don't escalate the situation with an argument. Share this video with someone, please. If you know someone that needs it, go to another room. Number 2, be the peacemaker and pray. God, what do I do? Because escalate the situation is going to make it worse. Hey, Kathy, that's right. God can deliver them. He can get you out of that situation. But right now you're in that situation and we want you to live to tell the story. Live to tell your story like I did. Number 3 is call a friend. And the reason I say call a friend or find something else to do, I'm trying to get this done. Call a friend. When you're talking to someone else, most men do not, or women do not want to be embarrassed because they try to keep it a secret that they're an abuser. They don't want people to know that they act like that. Most people that are abusers, they put on a good face. I know a soldier who was the best soldier. He got all these awards, and he would go home and beat his wife. He would perform karate moves on her and break her arm. And she made all complaints to the army, to the chain of command. And they kept saying, sorry, it's mosquitoes. They kept saying, but he's a good soldier. He may be a good soldier. He may be a good CO. He may be a great police officer. He may be even a great pastor. She may be a great pastor. She may be the best teacher. But an abuser is an abuser. And I'm going to have to kill this mosquito. But I want to tell you that you have to do measures to keep yourself alive right now. If you do these measures, you can survive another day. And that's where we're looking right now. We want you to survive another day. We want you to survive through the COVID. So if you have to take this video and watch it again, and replay it, do so. First, like I said, don't escalate the situation. Don't do it. If this is the time to learn to be quiet and not sarcastic, this is the time to do it, because we do not know how long that this COVID is going to last. You have to live with this person until your finances change or until they decide they want to leave. And then you still have to take care of yourself mentally. You might have to see them in court. They know where you live at until you decide you want to leave or that person changes. But God can deliver you out of that situation. Number two, again, go to another room. Even if you have to go to the bathroom and lock the door, do so. But just get out of harm's way. Number three, call a friend. Tell them, oh, I'm calling my mom, or I'm calling a best friend, or you're calling the bank. Call somebody. Reach out to someone. And if you can't call them because they took your cell phone, find something to do. Find something creative to do. If you have to get on the internet and imagine yourself somewhere, pull up your favorite vacation to get your mind. It's your mind we're trying to get to be safe. Because if you keep thinking about hurting that person and retaliating, you will. And you don't want to be the one in jail. So I'm telling you, those three tips help. I'm living with an abuser during the COVID virus. Number one, don't retaliate and get into an argument. It's not easy. I can say that I didn't always do it, but it's doable. Ask God for help. Number two, go to another room, go for a walk. If you have to walk in plain sight and say, I need to go out to the mailbox, or I need to go take the trash out, something. I just need some peace of mind, some fresh air, something. Go for a walk to get your mind together. Number three, call a friend. Call a friend for some help. Most people that you call, if you have a code word set up between you and them, they'll know exactly what to do. And they'll pray for you if they're another Christian like me. Or they'll maybe try to take your mind off of it. I know these steps may not be a end all, but these are the steps that I used when I went through domestic violence. And they caused me to live to see another day. And like I said, I'm going to invite you to come to the webinar. I'll put the link back for the webinar once this video is over. It'll be Tuesday at 7 p.m. I would love to go deeper into this with you and share some more steps. We are starting a private room for if you want to come, and we'll have some speakers there and some information for you. It's called Peace in Living Inner Circle. So come join the inner circle with us. I started to wait till January to do it, but I felt a need to do it now because there are so many men and women going through this abuser syndrome. Should I say a person that's always abusing them? And it may not be physical abuse. It could be psychological abuse. And I want to read the definition one more time for you. This way you can see, are you the abuser? Are you going through domestic violence? Most people don't want to admit to it. And I know I didn't. I didn't for years. That's not me, because I'm not going to the hospital. That's not me. But when you go through it day after day after day after day, it can get to be a problem. We want you to stay alive during the COVID. It just breaks my heart to see men and women. Someone stabbed someone to death. Someone beat them to death, shot them. I just saw not too long ago a young teenage boy, 17 years old, broke up with his girlfriend. She didn't want to be around him, so he stood outside her house with a gun and shot her. Then claimed that he was just shooting in the air. He shot that young lady because he had an anger issue problem. The symptoms of the definition of domestic violence, I got it off the hotline website, the domestic violence hotline. This is the willful intimidation, physical assault, battery, sexual assault, and or other abusive behavior as a part of a systematic pattern of power and control perpetrated by one intimate partner against the other. It includes physical violence, sexual violence, psychological violence, and emotional abuse. Now, That's a whole lot. But like I said, I think I've kept you too long. I only wanted to share a little bit with you. And I pray that if you are in that situation and you know someone, share this video with them, replay the video, learn how to do those small little steps so you can stay alive. They work. I am a survivor. I know they work. I've been in 2 different relationships, picked the same person almost in the same body, but I have no animosity against them. I don't hate them. I just pray that God will continue to keep them and help have them to love the Lord. So I don't have no animosity towards anybody. But I do pray for those that are in that situation. So, Lord, I ask that you will watch over the men and women that are going through this domestic violence in this COVID virus, God. I'm asking, God, that your angels will protect them and give them wisdom and knowledge how to handle the situation, that they won't escalate the situation, but they can live to tell their story another day. In Jesus' name, amen. I love you. Again, my name is Felice Renee, and I'm the host of the Peace and Living Today show and the author of Stained Glass Smile, You Can Be Healed. I show individuals who are experiencing traumatic events such as abuse, divorce, depression, abandonment, how to love themselves, forgive themselves, their accusers and abusers, so they can have peace and sleep at night. If you want to join us in the Peace and Living Inner Circle, please do. We'll be happy to have you there. And also, we are doing a webinar Tuesday at 7 p.m. We'll have the flyer out for you so we can go into deeper depth. Have a good night, and I pray that God will watch over you. Bye-bye.